try this if you have lower back pain, so stay tuned. Hey, this is Dr. Shaki from Irvine Spine and Wellness Center, your Irvine Posture and Movement Chiropractic Clinic. If you have lower back pain, chances are, more than likely, it is the muscles in your lower back, and that's from too much sitting. So before we even go there to see what kind of stretching you need to do, what kind of strengthening exercise you need to do, you need to understand the very activity that causes your lower back pain needs to be canned. So that's too much sitting. You make sure that you sit on an exercise ball, you get up every 50 minutes or so, you walk around and you come and sit, and then you alternate sitting with standing. That's like obvious thing that needs to happen. So eradicate or modify the very activity that feeds the problem. Now we need to stretch the tight muscle and then strengthen the weak muscle. So a tight muscle in your lower back can also get weak. A lot of times people think tight means strong, when in reality, tight means exhausted because it's not learning to let go. And from not letting go, it gets weak. So I've got two things I want to bring to your attention. One is a good stretching, and the other one is a good strengthening. So let's start with stretching. When it comes to stretching, we don't want to isolate the area because the problem is not in isolation, meaning the rest of your body and how the rest of your body behaves impacts how your lower back muscles react. So typically, it's the muscles back here that end up really getting the grunt of it. So what you want to do is you want to lay down on your back. I'm going to face the camera in this case, and I'm going to lower myself, lay down on my side like so, glide my neck up, and I'm not just buckling, this bottom portion of me is not just laying down on the floor. I'm actually activating this part of my arm, so I'm not collapsed, I'm lifted up. In the process of lifting that up, I'm also activating the lower part of my body. So I'm not lifting myself up that way. I'm kind of elevator rising myself by engaging this portion of my arm, lifting up. My my top leg is on the floor, and then I'm going to stretch. Now you can, a lot of times people think that's a mid-back stretch. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So you're gonna go up and stretch as much as you can. You can bring your arm across, or you can bring it up a little bit to stretch this whole area. And then switch over on the other side. When it comes to strengthening the muscles of your lower back, the one that I really like is what we all did as babies about to crawl. So that's about 7 months of age. You can get yourself a slider. You can, if you have a hardwood floor or just like a tile flooring, you can just put like a towel or something under your knees and proceed. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this. And what I want to do is, maybe I should move this. So let's move this for a second. We're going to go over here. And what I want to do is, you can use, I said under your knees, but in reality it's under your hands. So let's make that the correction. We're just going to go ahead and get ourselves up into all four, making your spine nice and neutral, gliding your neck up, pushing the ground towards the front wall and down into the floor at the same time. So it's as if it wants to slide, but because you're pressing down into the floor, it's not going to slide. It's just going to stay there. And you start in this position, making your spine nice and neutral, breathing biologically. We're going to put a video at the end of this video that tells you what that even means. And then you're going to proceed. So you're going to move this forward, keep yourself where you're at, and slide. What you don't want to do is in the process of moving your leg, the part of your body that's attached to this or connected to it falls apart. Your body, this rectangle, needs to be able to hold itself up regardless of what the leg is doing. Because in essence, when you're walking, the trunk has to hold its own weight. If it falls apart because you're taking a step to go forward, you're in trouble, because every step becomes an opportunity for failure and dysfunction. So what that's going to look like again is like so. You're going elongation of the spine, neutral spine is the key. Glide this up, keep your torso forward again, and then we're going to go backward. So when you're going backward, we're going to go that way and that way. What we don't want to do is generate the movement from the mid-back or your lower back. This is when your lower back gets an opportunity to be supported by the rest of your trunk instead of taking all the load up and down and moving you around. That is what functional movement is. If you have any questions, use one of the methods of contact in the description box to contact me. And until next time, take care.